Welcome, Shweta. Reshma. We are live. Reshma George.
Hey!
So, hey, we are live.
So
So,
we are live. So before we kick start, let me introduce to this beautiful girl, Reshma. She is an MBA HR, worked in the corporate for 5 years as HR and learning and development. And in her journey in the healing world began in 2011. And so it's been like almost 10 years. And Access came into her life 5 years ago. And it's been 9 months that she is a CF and also RDT CF as well. So a very warm welcome, Reshma. So
Thank you.
before we kick start, so I can see that your journey started with Access about 5 years ago, but you came into the healing in 2011 way back. So what was in 2011 and what made you to jump into the Access, and again what made you to jump for the RDD facilitator?
Okay, so one of the reasons that I jumped in 2011 is, so I lost my youngest brother in 2007. He was 6.5 years old, and he suddenly passed away. He was not sick, or he didn't have any issues. And from 2007, I have been asking questions of why do people die so young? And at that point of time, I did not really have access or any of the tools to get out of it. And I was 15 then, and I just started asking a lot of questions about life, about death, about why do people behave a particular way, these questions with why. And as we all know, when we ask questions with why, we don't really get anywhere. But I did start asking questions as to if people were to die, then why did they come onto the earth? If people were to die young, then why did they come onto the earth if they're not here? These questions, which may not have, it makes no, I won't say it doesn't make sense. It started the exploration of life for me at the age of 15. And in 2011, it just got stronger. The urge to know the answers to these questions got stronger. And I started exploring Reiki, I started exploring angel therapy, I started exploring crystal therapy. And there are a lot of things that I don't, I don't relate to anymore, but they were the stepping stones towards where I am today. And in 2011, the reason why I aggressively started choosing consciousness and energy is because I was going through a really bad relationship. And it was very traumatic and very heartbreaking. At that point of time, I was 21. And I didn't know how to deal with it. I couldn't talk to a best friend because I thought she would judge me. I couldn't talk to my parents because I come from a very conservative family. I come from a South Indian Christian family. And if anybody knows anything about South Indians and Christians, they are very rigid people. Okay, they're very conservative about how they function. So I didn't know who to go to. I didn't know where to go to. So I quickly got I posted something on Facebook, and a friend who I didn't speak to as we studied together. We did our graduation together, and he's like, "Hey, listen, if you require something, reach out to this person." And I was like, "Okay, who's this person? Who am I just randomly going to talk to?" And she was a therapist. And I reached out to her, and I realized that, wow, somebody like me who's an extrovert, who talks a lot, who has a lot of people, who has a big circle of friends, and I did not have somebody to share my pain with. Like at that point of time, I did not have somebody to hold me and say I'm going to be okay. I did not have somebody to say that it's fine, you'll find a way out of this. And then there are so many other people who don't talk as much, who don't share so much, who don't have a big circle. And I realized I'd like to be that person who people can come to and talk to. So that's where I started. That's how I started. And when I started in 2011, I did not start with the intention I'm going to start teaching or whatever. It was just to get out of my pain. It was just to get out of my misery of a breakup, of the abuse, of the trauma, of the emotional and financial trauma at that point of time, you know. So yeah, that's where I started. And thank you,
And
Akhil.
And so, what made you, if I may ask, that whatever your relationship was, like abuse you were going through, so what was that, that underlying point that you chose to be the RDD, facilitator?
So if
Because we, with there is always some underlying point of view, like, okay, now I can empower people, yeah, this helped me to pull me out from that vicious circle, so I may choose this.
uh, yeah, I mean, if you know me a little, I love talking about relationships. I love facilitating relationships. So RDD gives me that space to facilitate that. RDD gives me the opportunity to facilitate people under under the label of relationship done different, which I strongly believe in, right? Like relationships aren't meant to be abusive and traumatic and, all of those things. So can I just go back to that bit where you said about the abuse? So my abuse was less physical and more emotional abuse. I felt like I was taken for granted. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Sort of stuck. You can hear me now? Is this better?
Yes, but your cam, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, okay, you guys are stuck on my screen. I'm not sure if you can hear,
You are quite
but I think I'm going to keep going.
yeah.
Okay, so the emotional, I felt like I was being emotionally used and abused and not being taken care of, and I felt like I was being taken for granted. I was not respected. Uh, I was not honored, and I was, there was no care and loving energy towards me. So that's the kind of trauma that I had to go through. That I felt I was invisible. I felt I was not seen. I felt I wasn't heard. I felt like no matter what I do, I am wrong, and there's something absolutely wrong with me. That's the space that I was in 2011, and from there, it's been a journey of self-discovery and self, teaching myself how to be there for myself even when nobody is.
Reshma, you now being an RTT facilitator, from this perspective, when you look back at relationship you had, so what would you like to share, with our audience? Like at that point of view, what were your thought patterns, and now when you look back, and what you could have done instead? You know, can we talk a little on
Yeah,
that?
so I am very grateful to that particular relationship, and that was my first relationship. I'm very grateful for that relationship because if he wouldn't have done what he did, if he wouldn't have left me without telling me what went wrong in the relationship, if he wouldn't have walked out of me and didn't answer my call for 6 months, if he wouldn't have made me feel like I'm a piece of shit, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because I got to discover that all those things were lies. I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not somebody who you can abuse. I'm not somebody who you can disrespect. So it's been a journey of believing that maybe I'm useless, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I am nothing special, I'm just average, to acknowledging, to receiving myself as the potent being, the beautiful, caring, loving, supportive person that I am. So from being absolutely wrong and useless and all those things that I just mentioned to being this person who I am today, it's been a moment by moment choice. It's been a moment by moment exploration of who I am, and I got to give a lot of credits to Access, because without Access, I really wouldn't my process of evolution, my process of exploring who I am, my process of discovering who I am has been quick, been fast with access. So it's allowed me to really acknowledge who I am.
So, my next question is like, we always, try to be in relationships with which we are surrounded. We always try to be the good mother, good wife, good daughter-in-law, good, sister. And then by playing all these roles around us, I'm talking out of my experience, we really forget ourselves in that whole journey, and then that frustration and then anger starts and the search of who am I starts. So can you talk little on that as well?
Yes, certainly. So we actually are social beings, right? Like we are people who require relationships. Like we can't live in isolation. Like even if you're living by yourself in a city, you're not really by yourself. You interact with the shopkeeper, you interact with the person who comes and cleans their house, you interact with a lot of people. So you feel like what you are, who you are, you start believing that what you are and who you are on the basis of the connection with these people. Okay. Now, if the people around you start showing you that you are not good enough, you are whatever, you're not a good daughter, you're not a good wife, you're not a good sister, you're not a good friend, you're not a good girlfriend, you're not a good whatever, you tend to start believing that. Now, what you've got to really acknowledge is that, hey, am I being this to myself? Am I constantly putting myself in positions where I'm allowing people to judge me? And consciously starting to acknowledge the beauty and the contribution you are being and receiving. And Smriti, let me tell you, it's not like an overnight change. Like, today we had this conversation and we say that, okay, you know what, I am going to, I'm going to acknowledge me and I'm going to, acknowledge the contribution I be. And you wake up in the morning and probably your mother is yelling at you, such a useless kid, you don't do this and you don't do that and you don't, clean the house and you don't clean your room and then you're like, oh my fucking Lord, once again, we're on that bandwagon of how wrong I am, right? So in that moment, if you lower your barriers, you expand and you go into, hey, you know what? I think I'm great. I think I'm a good daughter. I take care of my mother. I take care of myself too. I will clean my room. Right now, do I think it's required to clean my room? Look around. Do I require to clean my room? Maybe not. I have a meeting to attend. I will attend my meeting because that's my priority. Okay? You prioritize you and what you desire. And after the meeting, you can say, okay, cool, maybe my room requires cleaning. I will do it over the weekend. I have 2 more days for the weekend. I will do it over the weekend because I have more time then. We put ourselves in this pressure cooker position where we, where we pressurize ourselves to please our parents. Like, okay, mama said it, so I have to do it. Otherwise, she'll feel bad or she'll feel dishonored. So in order, I will dishonor myself. I will reject what I require to do. And I will please her because she's more important. Now, when you do that, you're also telling the universe, hey, universe, I'm not important. That person is important. Please take care of that person. I don't need any taking care. And in return, all the people around you pick that point of view from you and deliver that to you. And then you start feeling taken for granted. You start feeling being used. You start feeling depleted emotionally. You start feeling depleted physically because you're always on the run to keep everybody happy. So the tool over here is to acknowledge it, to give the care and the love and the acknowledgement of who you are to yourself first, and not expecting somebody else to do that for you.
But there is no but that I would like to say is, in a relationship, we seek validation from other people. we don't acknowledge ourselves that much, and we seek when we are in a relationship, either it's with our husband or mother or any family or any member of the family, you can say. We tend to seek validation from those people instead of giving that to ourselves.
Correct. We do. We do. And Priyanka, this is something that I have been looking at for myself. Okay, so if my mother is upset with me, there's this whole jittery feeling inside me. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, she's upset. I just require to do something to calm her down. That feeling of, okay, I cannot be rejected by my mother. I cannot be rejected by my father. I need to do something to keep her calm. That whole need to keep her happy is so much more greater than the need to be at peace with who I am and what I am. And as long as that need of keeping her happy, keeping her satisfied where she is and pleasing her is there, I'm never going to be able to be fulfilled within myself, because my happiness lies in her happiness. And is she ever going to be happy? No. She will find another reason to judge me after 2 days. And this is not saying that my mother is a bitch or my mother is bad or, any of those things. It's just, I am giving her the power to take over, to control my happiness. I am saying that if you're happy, then I am happy. So it's not on her, it's on me. It's me who's putting that in the equation. Does that make sense?
So much, this thing is so much going on. There is not my mother, but the person who I always see that she finds a reason to judge me. If I complete this, she'll find another reason to judge me. And if that is over, she'll find another. So, at that moment, you said we are in the equation. So what tool we can use so that we are out of this vicious circle? Like every time the circles keep going on.
Correct. And the tool that I swear by, can you guys hear me? You can? Okay.
Yes,
the tool I swear by is my point of view creates my reality. Yeah, like Priyanka just bit her tongue. I was like, ouch! Right? Like my point of view is creating my reality. So it's my point of view that I cannot be received. It's my point of view that I cannot be heard. I will not be seen, no matter what I do. If that is my point, I'm not saying that is my point of view. I'm just giving you an example. If that is my point of view, then people will reflect that for sure. So the tool here is to consciously be an interesting point of view and to consciously choose points of view that will work for you. If you can't be an interesting point of view, then the next best thing to do is to choose points of view that work for you, not work against you.
So now here I would like to ask, so there is a very thin line between the awareness and the point of view. What if I'm getting the awareness, or is this my point of view which is creating all of this?
So an awareness is only valid for 10 seconds. If you hold on to the awareness for more than 10 seconds, it becomes a judgment. So if my friend, if my best friend is being a bitch to me, I was like, what a bitch. Like she's fucking being a total bitch to me. That's only valid for that 10 seconds. If I hold on to it for the next 24 hours and say, what a bitch, man. I do everything for her and she fucking judges me all the fucking time. And we're on that roll of judgment. It's already become your story. Okay? So it's your point of view that creates your reality and it's not the other way around. So it's also the need to be right and wrong.
Yes.
So if somebody is being a bitch to you, yeah, okay, she's being a bitch to you or he's being a bitch to you. And you're like, cool, I'll acknowledge it. And you know what? I don't want to be here right now. I just want to go do something fun. I'll just go have an ice cream and I'll come back. And I'll see if she's still in a bitchy mood, then I'll probably meet her after 2 days. I'm not in the mood to be around a bitch. You know? And when you're staying with the same people, like it's your parents, your in-laws, your husband, your wife, you know, when you're staying with them, you can still have this. It's all a 10 seconds choice, unless you want to carry forward that energy into an entire day, into an entire month, into an entire year. Like, how many times do we hold? Sorry, say that again, Priyanka.
No, you continue. You continue, then I'll ask her.
Yeah. So how many times, you know, somebody said something 3 years ago when I was sick, he didn't call me and he didn't check on me and he's been a total asshole and we're still holding on to it. That person has gotten fucking married and he has a kid and he's lived his life and he's gone, like and this is just probably a friend or a brother or a sister or a cousin or I don't know, whoever. Yeah, it doesn't need to be a love relationship. Okay, but we're like so strongly holding on to, yeah, he did wrong to me, I am the right one, and he still hasn't apologized. It's been 3 years now. And this is where we keep ourselves enslaved to that pattern of being at the effect of people.
Yes.
Okay. So relationships are really, like, wherever we go, there are relationships. You have a relationship with your shopkeeper, you have a relationship with your doodwala, you have a relationship with your dhobiwala, you have a relationship with your boyfriend, you have a relationship with your house, you have a relationship with your business, you have a relationship with everything and everyone. And stories that you hold on to is what drives this, is what drives the relationship.
You know,
so what stories do you want to tell yourself? What story? Yeah, Priyanka, go on.
You know, there is no how in the access, I know, but you just, like you said, drop that thing, you know, drop that story. So to do that, what can we do to drop that story and to drop that the fight which is still going on inside us, you know, not verbally with the person, but yes, inside us.
Yeah, correct. So firstly, so can I ask you a question, Priyanka?
Yes.
So do you have a fight with anybody that's going on right now? Just to use that as an example.
Yeah.
Okay. So just, you don't have to tell me the story. That's fine. We don't have to expose all the truth today. We can do it later, someday. Okay. So if I was to tell you, if I was to say, okay, so are you trying to be right here in any angle?
Yes, I was trying to be. Yes. Yesterday only I got that awareness and I dropped the thing of being right. Yeah. But I was functioning from the right point of view. Yes.
Yeah. So the fight only exists when you go into right and wrong. The fight only exists when you want to say, I am not going to be wrong this time. I'm going to prove to them that I'm the right one. I'm doing the right thing. And that person is wrong. I'm going to make sure he gets it. Because you know what? He will come back and hurt me or somebody else. So I'm going to be the Mother Teresa here. And I'm going to make sure that he fucking gets it. Or she gets it. But the point is that you're feeding your body with all the anger and all the rage and all the stress, and you're abusing you more than you're abusing anybody else.
Yes, definitely, you know. And that's the reason I would say that the day before yesterday, you know, I started crying out of nowhere because I was so much rigid with that right point of view that my body was like, I'm like done with this. And I cried whole night and I was like, what is this actually going on? And you know, the moment I realized, okay, I'm really functioning with the right point of view, like I'm right, and I gave up that, and my body stopped crying. I was all day lighter with this thing.
Yeah, and you know, you have to put in so much energy into that incident to maintain the rightness of your point of view.
Yes.
Instead, if you just realize, yeah, okay, he fucked up, I want to be right about it, or she fucked up and I want to be right about it. And you're like, yeah, fine, I'm the righteous queen. I always want to be right. And you make a joke out of it. You add some humor to it. And you just, you just laugh about it and it becomes lighter. It just becomes lighter. It's just what it is.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is so much lighter.
So yeah, I want to say something. I have a very fun relationship with my parents. Okay, like the dramas aside, we address each other. Like, I call my dad Buddha. Okay, I was like, yeah. Now Buddha won't answer my call. He will only answer his Buddhi's call. And he's not in Pune. He's in Kerala. So I joke about, like, I'm not very happy that he didn't answer my call. So I joke about it that you won't even answer your wife's call now. You won't answer my call. Who am I? You know. So that allows them to laugh about it. That the wrongness is taken away from it. Okay, so if you can put across your point, if you're upset about something, put it in a way where that is light. Life will be so much easier. Life is not so tough and so rigid and so solid and all those things.
So, there times, okay, this is a mother-daughter relationship, so I can understand, but that sometimes the ego also comes in between. Like, why only I go and talk to that person?
Yeah.
She's being such a bitch to me, then it's like, I don't want to do anything with that person. I was functioning from that point of view a lot. Like, she's being bitch, I don't want to talk, but the fight was going inside me continuously.
Yeah. So Priyanka, when you feel like you don't want to talk to somebody, you got to ask a question. Is this person willing to receive me at this point? The thing is, everything, all this, any kind of feelings are distractor, but any kind of awareness, okay, maybe I don't want to talk to her right now. She's just being a total bitch to me. I'm not interested. Okay. And then you're going to, but I'm being this egoistic bitch. I'm being a superior cunt. I don't want to do this. You just go into the wrongness of you. Instead, you go, okay, cool. Truth. Will she receive my call? Will she receive me? Is she willing to have a conversation with me? Okay, no. Okay, everything I am doing to keep that in place, I destroy and uncreate that. Everywhere I am being, whatever I'm being, to keep this whole drama in place, I destroy and create that. All the sequence implants, explants, all the distractor implants, all the triple sequencing systems that's keeping that in place, I destroy and create that.
Yes.
Because you know what? Your point of view creates your reality.
Yes. Absolutely. So, one thing more was actually going on, which you actually said was that I was functioning. I thought I'm functioning as a superior bitch over here. There was a very strong point of view going inside me. Like, I know much better. I know so much more. So I was functioning from, somewhere underlying point of view was I am a superior bitch over here.
Yeah. And what if it's not wrong to be a superior bitch? Or you can be a superior bitch. You're allowed to be a superior bitch. You're allowed to be an inferior bitch. You're allowed to be any kind of bitch. But do you give yourself to be that? Or do you want to be only a good friend, a good girl, a good woman, a good mother, a good daughter?
I was not allowing myself to be a superior bitch.
We don't allow ourselves to fuck up. How can we? We're queen of perfectionism. There's no fun in perfection, guys. There's no fun in perfection.
It was not about, I'm a queen of perfectionism. It was like, I want to correct everything. It's okay, things went wrong, but I want things to go normal after 2-3 days. And if that's not happening, and I start judging myself. Okay?
So you want the perfect picture, no? Friendship there. You're not okay with the little tiff that's going on with your friends there. You're not okay with, like, okay, she can totally be a bitch and she can totally not talk to me, and Okay, so there's another tool here, okay? If you're willing to lose everyone and everything, nobody's going to fucking leave you. Nobody. You know, when you hold on to your life and you're like, oh my God, I love Priyanka, I have to hold on to her, I cannot let her go, I cannot live without her. She will feel like, oh my God, I want to run away from this fucking crazy woman here. Let me go, let me find the hills. I just want to go and be at peace. But when I say, okay, Priyanka doesn't want to talk to me, okay, I'm going to give her space. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. I'm going to go enjoy my life. I'm going to do whatever. Priyanka is like, Reshma hasn't thought about me today. She hasn't called me today. We're best friends. Why haven't she spoken? Okay, let me go check on. And this is also an energy pull.
Yes.
It's also an energy pull. When you withdraw, yes, people are willing to come into your space. I'm actually looking forward to hear from the others. I mean, is this conversation really contributing? It's Pooja, Shweta, Surbi, Shivani, Anil, Pallavi, Anupama, Nathi, Pooja, Sharma, Jitika, Akhyati, Galaxy A50. I'm curious, who are you? And S.
Guys,
Yes.
But I have, yeah. Yeah, first of all, thank you, Priyanka and Smriti, for this session, and Reshma for really interesting topic. I mean, yeah, as you said, relationship is everywhere. Wherever we meet, it is like not only with living things, even non-living things. So relationship is like everywhere. I have a question here, like observe that especially there are many people in and around me who choose to live in 10-second choices. Okay, and every 10 seconds they change. And for me, it becomes sometimes very difficult to tune into their energies. Abhi 10 second pehle aise the, next 10 second they're changing, and it is happening like I'm also changing. And at the end of the, I would say after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I feel why I am changing, why I'm getting tuned because of others. Why can't I stay the way I am? But what is happening? I'm tuning myself according to their energies. Acha, 10 seconds they've chose this. Okay, let me go with this. Next 10 seconds they're okay. Okay, we'll go with this. 10 seconds they're crying. Okay, laughing. Okay. So it is like so weird at times. How many times we should tune ourselves because of others?
Okay, can you tell me a little more? Can you give me more information of what you mean to say when you say that they're changing every 10 seconds? What does that mean to you?
So, for example, come to say some decision making. If, for example, let's go out, 10 seconds, no, we'll cancel. Next 10 seconds, I think we'll go nearby. Next 10 seconds, okay, let's call somebody. Next, so it is just an example, but you can, similarly, there are many things in such a way, there are 10-second choices. This is like, one is decision making. Another example is like feeling. Feeling frustrated, next moment totally fine, third moment judging you, fourth moment like, so it is so much of variation altogether. And I feel I'm also trying to fit into, because that person is like that and that person is not going to change. So rather I have to look into what changes I can make, or what I be, so that it doesn't harm me. But after 10-15 minutes I get pissed off. Why I'm 10 seconds, I'm not choosing for myself, I'm choosing for others.
Got your question. Okay. So Pooja, I'm saying, okay, if Pooja, let's go for dinner today. Where do you want to go? What would your response be?
Yeah, I'll give one answer and I'll stick to it. So that there's no confusion.
But does this person ask you that? Do you make that choice?
No, there's no asking. That is totally being that person. Right? That's it.
So the thing is, are you talking about your husband? Husband, boyfriend, / partner?
They are family. Like in family, there are many people. Like every day we talk to. So it starts with everybody. It is not only husband, I would say. There are many people.
Okay. So guys, when there are two parties involved and this person is going like, okay, hey, let's go for dinner. Oh no, maybe let's go for lunch. Okay, no, let's maybe go for breakfast. oh, you know what? Tomorrow, I just want to sleep today. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. Okay. You are also not making a choice. Your choice is to go with whatever this person is choosing. Instead, if you say, hey, you know what? I really want to go for lunch. Do you want to come along? That person will make a choice. But you choose to just play along with this person. Okay, aaj yahan jana. Okay, cool. I'm just going to follow you like a puppy, which is not wrong, but clearly that's not working for you.
But that moment, if I come to one decision, okay, let's do this, and end of the day, if it doesn't turn out better or in a good deal or something, then you are the one. You only chose this, right?
So you are committed to perfectionism rather than committed to creation of your life. You want, okay, I will not make the choice because if it goes wrong, then they will blame it on me. You're trying to play safe rather than trying to create your life. And how's that working for you?
So it is any which way. If you don't choose, even that way, you are just playing with it. If you choose, again, you have to, okay, whatever comes your way.
But isn't that your point of view?
Yeah.
The point of view that if I make a choice, it's going to go wrong and then they will blame me. That means you already have a story that if you make a choice, it's going to go wrong. So I will rather not make a choice and I will play along with this person. Now, when you're playing along, you feel like you've been taken for granted.
When I come up with very clear-cut this like decision, okay, we'll do this. Somewhere, again, it is my point of view, saying that I am being dominant in that place every time. Because I am giving my decision very firmly every time. And when I give other person choice, so that, okay, every time I give, now you decide. So there are, I mean, various reasons for that I don't choose sometimes. Somewhere I feel, oh, she only says all the time, so go ahead.
This is like a vicious circle, Pooja. You got to acknowledge.
Yeah.
The creation of your life is your choice. Yeah. Even if I'm your sister, I'm your mother, I'm your girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend, I can come and suggest to you. But the creation of your life has to be your choice. And your life is you being the dominant entity in your world. So if that is wrong according to you, then you won't make a choice to create your life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I try to, I not try to be, I want to become this dominant energy, but somewhere I go into judgment. No, that's not right to be a dominant person.
You're doing right
for myself. For myself. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rightness, wrongness. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. It was clear. Yeah, thank you so much.
So we have another question, Reshma, from Anilji. He's saying, my girlfriend is independent and likes to do things her way. I am not confrontational in general, so I don't mind her having her way. But sometimes I know that she's not right, but she will still not listen. This makes me feel like she does not care, making me feel I'm unnecessary in her life. I wish I could find her. Complete Anilji. I cannot see. I could find her.
Resolution.
Yeah, okay. I'm not able to see it. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't mind her having her way. Do you really not mind, or would you like her to incorporate you in her life?
I would like to incorporate some of my things as well in her life, or at least like her acknowledge.
Correct. So another thing is, I don't mind her having her way is a very, what is it called? Passive aggressive way of agreeing to something. Okay? You actually would like to be included in her life. Now, this is something that you would have to communicate to her and see if she would like that too. So this I'm going to take you back to my example of it's not different than my example with me and my mother.
Right.
Okay. So you because she is more valuable to you and your desires aren't as valuable as she is, so you're holding on to her very tightly as a way to keep this relationship going. Do you think this relationship would sustain if you were to put your foot down and say, hey, I'm sorry, this doesn't work for me?
That's when the problems start, yeah.
But then there's no relationship, actually. It's only you in it, isn't it?
That's one way of looking at it, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, remember one thing. You require two people to create a relationship. And you require two people to break a relationship. It's not one person who breaks it. Okay? So you gotta start looking at what points of views do you have that's creating this in you. And I'm gonna give you a tool, okay? Regardless of if you are in a relationship or if you're finding somebody to be in a relationship, okay? So this is for all the married people, all the people in relationships, everybody included here, okay? Make a list of the qualities that you would like to have in your partner. Make a list of all the qualities you would not like to have in your partner. And make another list which are non-negotiable qualities in your partner. Okay? Now, for me, something that's non-negotiable is my partner cannot be religious. You can't tell me that I have to go to church every day. I have to go to church every Sunday. Not happening, bro. That's not happening. Okay? And that is non-negotiable for me. My belief, my religion is my choice. You don't get to overpower that. Okay? That's non-negotiable. The other is he needs to love dogs. That's non-negotiable for me. I have a dog. He's my kid. He's coming with me where I go. You cannot be like, he cannot be on the bed. He can't be in the room. He has to be in the cage. Not happening. He and I sleep on the same fucking bed. We share a pillow. So you cannot be like, he has to be at a distance. That's not negotiable. Now, there's nothing right and wrong in this list. A lot of us feel, oh, I'm being unreasonable. Oh, I'm being too pricey. No, it's your life. You get to choose what works for you. And you will get a partner who would like to play with you like that. And this is not about getting nitpicky about he needs to put the toilet seat down or she needs to whatever. You know, that's okay. That can be worked out. That's not important. Okay? Look at what are the 5 things that are non-negotiable and you will have that. One of the other things that's non-negotiable is he cannot be addicted to any kind of alcohol or substance. He can have his drinks, but not addicted. There's a very thin line between that. Because I drink too. But I don't drink to oblivion. Okay? So I'm giving you these examples so that you start looking at what do you really require in your relationship. Okay? And look at that and explore that and see that. Anil, does that help you?
Yes, it does. Thanks. It's a good tool to use and sit and discuss things as well, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Thanks.
But any other questions? Khushi said no question.
So
I have a question.
I only have questions.
Anupama says she has, and Priyanka also has a question. I'm happy to take. Yeah.
Should I go first, Priyanka?
Yeah, sure, please.
Okay, so I mean, since I've learned access and since I've been asking questions, Reshma, first and foremost thing I always ask is, what's right about this that I'm not getting? And I ask all my questions, but you know, there are some people, and I'm a very non-interfering person, but there are still some people in my space that
um, kind of feel that they can tell me what to do. And I don't want to be, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to be wrong, or it's not about whether I want to be right or wrong. I just don't want to be rude to them, because all I want to tell them is, hey, what you say and what you do to me should be okay if the same thing happened to you, but it's not, then please don't do it to anyone. Just, live your life, let others live.
Okay.
But I'm not able to be that.
Anupama, stop right there. What they do to others is not your business.
No. When I meant to say that, I meant in my context, not in anyone else's context.
That's what I'm saying. So you put your foot down and say, hey, this doesn't work for me.
Correct. I am doing that. Not that I'm not, but there are still, I don't know, maybe it's just my energy that gets them to do that to me, or what. So how do I clear that off?
Can you give me an example of what they do it?
Yeah, a very recent one, which will probably shock you, is that I'm not in the, I'm single and I'm not dating. That's not my priority as of now. So, but I have two friends who are very close to me, and one of them just took the liberty of sharing my pictures and phone number to a guy that she was talking to. And that kind of just blew me away, because I would never ever think in my wildest dreams to do that to someone. So I was like, what made you do that to me? Because it's very non-negotiable, like you just said. But she doesn't get it. She feels her intention is right. Now, no matter saying it very candidly, openly to her that, hey, you know what? This is not how it works. I'm not interested. And if I am, I will let you know, then you can help me. Still, she doesn't get the message. She feels I just don't know what I'm doing in life when it comes to dating.
Okay. And so what if you didn't make this significant? You told her it doesn't work. And if she continues to do, then you say, hey, I'm sorry. So I'll give you an example, okay? So this is an example that Gary and Dean shared with us. So when they were earlier, not recently, but really earlier in the days of Access, about 10, 15 years ago, Gary walked up to Dane and he said, Dane, we cannot be friends. We cannot be friends because you judge me too much and you start making me wrong for everything. Mm-hmm. And Dane was like, what? I don't know. I don't think I judge you. I'm just trying to be a good friend. And he's like, no, you can continue to work with Access. And this is what Gary said. You can continue to work with Access, but you cannot be my friend, because friends don't judge me. Friends don't control me. Friends only contribute to me. And then he walked away. 1 second. He walked away and he's like, Dane called him up after a few minutes. And he's like, hey, Gary, can I talk to you, please? And he's like, yeah, I can give you 45 minutes. And this is his own friend who had all the time in the world for him before this episode. And Gary's like, I can give you 45 minutes. We can talk about whatever you want. And they actually spoke about it. And Dane started acknowledging where he was actually judging Gary. Mm. And this is an example they used to tell us that your friends don't get to judge you. Your people don't get to judge you. And they don't get to control you, and they don't get to tell you that you don't know what the fuck you're doing in life, even if you don't know what the fuck you're doing in life. Okay?
Yeah.
So, Anupama, what is required of you here to change this?
What is required of me here is to be probably more assertive. I've been telling them, but I haven't been probably assertive enough for them to back off.
Okay. And what points of view do you have that keeps letting people mistreat you?
In the past, it was about me mistreating myself. But I don't do that anymore. But I still think that there's some energy stuck there. And that's why it's still continuing to a certain extent.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you another tool. Your experiences are a reflection to what's actually going on within you. So if you still have people who are mistreating you, that means there is somewhere that you're still mistreating yourself and dishonoring yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so you got to look at, okay, what points of views do I have? And please don't go into the wrongness of this. Like there are times that I say, oh my Lord, I've been working on my fucking self for 10 years and I still have this pattern going on. It's okay. It's fine. Okay. We have had these patterns for lifetimes and lifetimes and trillions of years. So we've just been working on it for this lifetime. So it's okay. It may take time to change it, but it will change. Just persist and keep using the tools and go into that thing. Okay, everywhere I am doing this to myself, everywhere I'm being this to myself, I just run and feel. Okay.
Okay.
Did that help you, Anupama?
Thanks, Reshma.
I didn't hear you. Did that help you, Anupama?
Yeah. I said thanks a lot. That was it. I will look at my points of view and try to destroy them, because I know somewhere, even if there is the 1% left, whether it's not significant or significant, I need to clear that off so that these things don't happen with me.
Yeah. And what if you didn't make anything significant? Like nothing. Okay.
It's a little it's not that yet easy for me. Yeah.
It
I
is
have a muscle to build for that.
Absolutely. And I totally agree. It may not be easy when it comes to best friends and close people in your life. But like you rightly said, it's a muscle that you build.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Yes, Priyanka. So before we go to Priyanka to ask a question, I actually have a Facebook group that's called Orgasmic Relationships for you. If you'd like to join it, I don't really have a link handy to it yet right now, but I can send it to Smriti and probably she can put it on with the post when she posts it. So you can join the group and we have a lot of free content in there. So that could probably help. Yeah? Yes.
So one question was also there in my head is, like you said, once we are in relationship. So I had a very bad relationship. It was physically, mentally abusive, and it didn't work. And now after also being in access for so many years, still somewhere I know I'm not ready for another relationship. When people ask me, I give a mixed reply. I'll say, yeah, maybe I'll see. But right now I'm not ready. So, so my question is like, is it okay to be not having a relationship further?
Guys, this is your life. It's your life. It's not you haven't borrowed it from your mother or your sister or your neighbor or your somebody. Okay, you get to choose what works for you. If you're not ready right now, it's absolutely okay. You're not wrong. You're not a judgeable offense. You're not a piece of shit because you don't have that picture perfect relationship yet. It's really okay. You will receive the relationship when you're ready. And you can take as much time as you require. The thing that people say, oh, once you turn 30, you're not going to find a man. That is bullshit. It's bullshit.
I have a daughter too. So
huh?
I have a daughter too. So, I always give a reply. So this time, if I'm going for a relationship, I'll be very sure of that person, because now my daughter is also there to take care of her.
Yeah. So Priyanka, this is something that you got to look at. Is you're trying to get the perfect man. That does not exist.
Yeah.
You got to start. I wish we had a follow-up call to this, but all you people out there, please make that list of things that I suggested. You'll start getting clear of what is the kind of man you want. Okay. And there may be certain things that he may do that me annoying as fuck. Okay. but you're going to still be okay with that because it's not non-negotiable for you, right? Like I have a beautiful younger brother. He's in London, and he can be a total arrogant asshole. Okay, he can totally be that, but he's a beautiful contribution to me. I love him, I adore him, and I love being around him. But I can't be around him for more than 2 hours. It's like, go fuck yourself, just do whatever the fuck you want, I'm out of here. But that's the thing, right? We don't have to be attached to the hip of him to contribute to me or for me to contribute to him. Okay? I have so much to talk about relationships, you guys. You get onto my Facebook group. There's going to be a lot there. Okay? I can go on. If this was a 10 hours call, we would still have to extend. I have a lot to talk about relationships.
Reshma, could you give the name of the group you were mentioning?
Just put it into the group, into the chat. It's called Orgasmic Relationship for Empowered Women. I'm changing it from women to empowered dragons, but we can, so that men are also included in there. But you guys can send me a request there and I will get you added.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just quickly going to check if I have a link. This technology is not my... Yes, I do have a link. Smriti, can I send it to you on WhatsApp? Okay. Okay. So she will send you the link, or you can find me. I mean, find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook. I will send you the link there, okay? Any other questions? We end at 3 minutes. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me?
I have a question, Reshma. So I know it's very easy to preach than to practice. So, I have been in Access now quite some time, and I keep telling my husband and my sons, that nobody can make you happy, nobody can make you sad, and it's person's choice, and then when I am sad, when I am very gloomy, and like there are days when I cry, at that time, they just hit me back with this, that okay mama, nobody can makes you happy or sad, and this your choice to be happy or sad, even to an extent that my husband also tells me this. So that is the time, when I contract and I shrink a lot, because that's the time I want them around me. I want them to pamper me, woo me. So what can I be here that, okay, like how can I be in the total allowance of my, that gloominess and that frustration or whatever is going on? Because that is the time when I throw a lot of projection and expectation on the 3 men of my life.
Yeah. So you know what? So, so what happens is, it is true that no one can make you happy and no one can make you sad. It's not airy-fairy tool. It's just that when you're sad, are you in allowance of you? Do you judge you? And that's why you feel like your son and your husband is throwing that tool as a judgment at you. Yeah. Okay? That's when, because you judge you, they're going to, your point of view creates your reality, guys. I really swear by that tool. My life is based on that tool. If there's anybody who's being nasty, I'm like, okay, what points of views do I have here? That's inviting that into my life.
No, because I was so much used to of their pampering and all.
Yeah. That, right? So if you would like to be pampered, walk up to your husband, lower your batteries and listen, I want to be pampered today. Ask for it.
That's where my self-respect comes. Why should I go?
Oh, self-respect is just a way to keep yourself trapped.
Yeah, totally agree.
And what I mean by that is, don't be a doormat. That's not what I mean. But when you use self-respect against you, doesn't really work. So the other day, my mom's like, Acha, you have to do this and you have to do this. I looked at my mom. I said, Mama, I've been working my ass off for 2 months. 3 दिन मेरी छुट्टी है. 3 days. You're going to pamper me for 3 days. And she smiled at me and she actually did.
Wow.
Because I asked for it. And then there was this other time that she went into the whole loop of, you're wrong, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. I said, listen, yesterday I did that. Appreciate me? She was like, what do I say? I said, say thank you. And she was like, okay, thank you. Add humor, guys. Ask for what you'd like. I said, you have to appreciate me for that one thing I did. I didn't do 10. Okay, agreed. I didn't do 10. I did that one thing. Appreciate me for that. Guys, we take everything on too seriously in life, which is not really worth it. Life is fun. Life is easy. Life is orgasmic. Make it orgasmic. Every single choice. It's not genital orgasm alone. Okay? And this is not preachy stuff that I'm saying. If you've seen me for a few years, you know what I used to be and what I am today. I do have bad days too. I'm not saying I don't, okay? I do have bad days too. But I pick up from there and I say, okay, cool, I'm going to have a better day today. And you're welcome, Anupama. Okay. Cool. Is there any other questions? Otherwise, like I said, I can keep going on.
I know it's time, but it's like really we wish this class would have gone a little longer. The topic is so interesting and your energy is amazing.
Thank you. Guys, join my group. You'll find me. It's not very active. I'm a little behind on technology, but you'll see me a lot on my personal page. You'll see me a lot on my Reshma George, my personal page. Join the orgasmic group. You have more content. I'm going to be more active on this group. You get more of me there. And I also do have a few free slots that I do that has been filled up for this month. But what you can do is join the orgasmic group, and I can book you up for July. Okay, I'm full for June. So join the group. You get a lot of stuff in there that's contributors. So if that's something you'd like, we'd be happy to have you. And thank you, Smriti. Sorry, Anupama, what did you say?
I said I'll send you the request on both self and your page.
Okay, awesome.
You and your page.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reshma, for being here. Thank you. We really needed this, energy that could blast all the pest juniors we have normally for the relationship.
Yes. I'm so glad. Thank you for inviting me. I'm truly grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. See you guys. Thank you, Kushi. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.